Hello, everyone. This one's actually not going to be as long of one because this is the early beta. I'm going to reiterate one more time. This is an early beta of Wasteland 2, which is a game that I have been anticipating for about 15 years. Um, after having played the first Wasteland, after having played the first Wasteland when I was a kid, this is, in my opinion, the sequel to the single best RPG that has ever been made on a computer, and you can all quote me on that for all I care. Ooh, DLC already? Oh, of course not. Um, so this is coming out from InXile Entertainment. Brian Fargo is back at the helm of the Wasteland and Fallout series. Well, not Fallout, but this is basically, if you don't know the history, the original Wasteland came out from Electronic Arts in 1989, something like that, 91, I don't remember. And then Brian Fargo left Electronic Arts. Electronic Arts made a horrible couple of sequels that were just terrible. And then he worked for those fine fellows over at Interplay and created a game called Fallout. And Fallout was called the spiritual successor to Wasteland, and he used Fallout. The name was called Fallout because they did not own the license, and Electronic Arts would not release the license for the Wasteland title. And then Fallout 2, and then Brian Fargo left Interplay and went on his own, which is now and has been through a couple of different companies, and now he owns InXile Entertainment, and he reacquired the license for Wasteland, and through Kickstarter has created a sequel, and the Kickstarter gained a ridiculous amount of money for what they were asking for, and so I have very high hopes for this. As you can see, I have continue highlighted there because I've tested out a couple of things just to make sure I understand how it works. Now, this is just kind of the prologue because it is the early beta. But they are letting us do let's plays of it, things of that nature, because they want to get the word out, and frankly, so do I, because this is a great series and it has a great sense of humor. Okay, so here we have set up pre designed characters here, but I'm going to make my own custom group, and I'm going to show you on the first character how the thing works. I'm going to make, of course, Asmo, and I'm going to show you how this character creation doohickey works out, and then I'm going to do the other ones off camera. So here's the first one. Okay, attributes. So locate your available attribute points. We get 7 points, which isn't a lot. The font here is terrible, and it really needs to be worked on. I'm sure that they'll work on that as time goes on. Let's see. You only have 28 points, and you don't get more points later on. And that will make a lot of people think that, you can't make a decent character, quote unquote. And what that means is you can't make a character that does combat and then whatever else you want him to do. You have to really specialize the characters, and it makes it. But the thing is that people need to understand is Wasteland was never about attributes. Wasteland was always about skills. Skills are the real key thing in the Wasteland title. Asmo's not going to be a very lucky person. I don't usually like using dump stats, but we're going to have to a little bit here. He's pretty intelligent. He's incredibly charismatic. He's very aware of what's going on, so let's bring these down each a point. He's not the strongest. He's quick and moderately coordinated. So you can see you don't get a lot to work with, and that's pretty cool in my opinion. But that's going to give him 7 action points, which is not enough. I want to lower his combat initiative. Alright, well, I guess we'll just have to deal with what we got. 7 action points, 4% ranged critical hit. He's got a 10 combat initiative, which is good. Doesn't have very much con, but he gets 4 con per level. Alright, move on to the next page. Combat skills will increase your proficiency with different weapons. Knowledge skills are things for various obstacles. General skills include all sorts of shit. going to give him one combat skill, and that is going to be sniper rifles. Let's see. Knowledge skills. Nothing really there. He wants general skills. We're going to give him leadership, outdoorsman, perception, and he's a smartass. Alright, that'll do for that for now. His name is Proteus. He will be 5. He's an atheist. He smokes coffin nails, and he's American. Now it's going to hang for a second. The first time that it loads the appearance thing, it takes a long time. So I'm really excited about this. There's a few functions of this game that I really like a lot. This is very, very incomplete because it is a early beta. So there's some voiceovers that don't exist. There's some. The graphics are pretty low poly count, but you spend a lot in the eye in the sky, so it's not a big deal. But I do hope that they tweak those up a little bit. And there's some weird lighting effects that happen, that shader effects that need to be worked on. Okay. I like that particular thingamajig. Let me look at his face. Thanks. Go that one. Okay. Do we have a pack that doesn't have? That'll work. That'll work. Good. And there's our first character. Now I'm going to pause out of the video really quick, and I'm going to make the other characters, and I'll go over them when I get back. All right, so we're back. Now we've got Bones, who is fairly quick, very strong, very aware in combat situations. She is focused on bladed and brawling. She'll probably start off with a knife. And she's got brute force to pound through walls and shit. And she's obviously evasion because she's a melee character. Field medic and surgeon. I have to sneeze. She is also a Mexican Christian, and she's 23. Then we have Sarge, who is an all-around average soldier, really built for that. He shoots guns. He has assault rifles, handguns, and shotguns, and submachine guns. Doesn't have any of those skills. And then he has weaponsmithing and field stripping, which I'll explain when I get in there. He is a 38-year-old atheist that smokes sticks, and he's Russian, ex-military. Because Russians are crazy. And then there's Lilith. She's hyper-intelligent and average everything else. And no weapon skills or knowledge or general skills, but she has alarm disarm, computer tech, lockpicking, safe cracking, synthetic tech, and toaster repair. She's young, she's 19, she's an atheist, and she's Chinese. So let's go. So I'm really excited about this particular game. I can't wait for the final version. I'm gonna try to stop sniffling. A stiff, bearded older man wearing a... Hold up. A stiff, bearded older man wearing a hard-worn ranger out uniform and battered cowboy hat, General Vargas, walks with a cane, but he's not helpless. He wears a pearl-handled revolver on his hip. There are lots of notches on the barrel.
I appreciate you coming to Captain Ace's retirement party. You hardly knew the man. appropriate, too, seeing as how investigating his death will be your first duty as a desert ranger.
How'd he die?
Ace had been trying to locate a faint radio signal, which has lately been giving us cause for concern. We gave him 3 repeater units and sent him to hook them up to 3 remote radio towers. This would have allowed us to get a fix on the signal. But sadly, Ace was murdered by unknown assailants right after hooking up the first tower, and his logbook and the last 2 repeater units were stolen.
Now, if you notice, some of that text is red, some is yellow. You get some things down here, but...
Don't know, but it wasn't on Ace's person when he was found. Look for it. It might have some clues as to his death. The voice on those broadcasts disturbed me greatly. It talked crazy talk about a future where man and machine would be one. Worse, it talked about us, the Desert Rangers, specifically. It said it was coming for us.
Tell me about the repeater
When you
units.
get back to the Citadel, talk to our radio expert, Wade Woodson, if you want to know more about the technical details. All I know is the repeaters will upgrade the towers and allow us to zero in on the mystery signal.
I was asking about the towers.
I'll give you the locations of the towers once you have the repeaters in hand. More important to find them first.
What's the mission?
Yeah, I know. You've hardly found your feet with us. Here I am sending you on a mission that already got 1 ranger killed. Well, I wish I had another option, but the Desert Rangers are spread a little thin right now. There are no more experienced hands to spare. The next generation is going to have to lead the charge.
That would be us.
Look, the mission is this. Search the area where Ace's body was found and do your best to recover his logbook and the repeater units. Then call in your report. If you can find the repeaters, I may send you on to finish his mission. Now, I know you're going to be tempted to hunt for Ace's murderers along the way, and if you find them, good. But your priority, however, is finding that signal. Vengeance for Ace's death is not as important as assessing this threat to our security.
You said I should call in.
Yes, call in on your radio.
That's how you level up.
Radio is your lifeline to Ranger Citadel. We'll be calling you with alerts and updates on your current missions, and sending you new missions when we receive distress calls. As Rangers, it is your sworn duty to respond to those calls. That is the contract we made with the people of Arizona when we opened for business.
Where is this
It's about
place?
a day's walk east from here. I'll mark it on your map.
Thank you. Ching.
There you go. Once you prove yourself, the Citadel will be your new home. Consider this mission the final test of your training. If you succeed, you are welcome within our walls. If you fail, you aren't cut out to be a Desert Ranger. We won't let you in.
Well, that makes you kind of a dick. So, since I do not have hard ass or kiss ass, I'm gonna go with smart ass.
Using logic on me, eh? Smart ass. Logic and observation will change some folks' minds, and you can catch people in lies that way. But sometimes it only makes them mad, so be careful. In this case, you're right. I should let you in, but I got a feeling about you, fool. You got depths you don't even know you have, and it's going to take adversity to tap them. So I'm sending you out undergunned and unprepared, just to see what it brings out of you. You'll thank me later. Maybe.
I won't.
Good luck out there, recruits.
What's going on? Why is it doing that? Why are you doing this? Triggered. Okay, that's gotta stop. I will be right back. Alright, I figured out that one. Apparently it can read my joystick. Yep, it can read my joystick. I don't know why anybody would want to use a joystick on this game, but whatever. Alright. So now we can take a moment to look around, and I'm going to go over the interface with you, because there's a lot of this that's very similar to the previous one. And that is, there's this typewriter down here that gives you descriptions of what's going on, which is going to be great in combat. I won't read all of it all the time, but I will read it now and again. You can scan the airwaves, which I haven't seen anything in here to do anything. Call in.
Copy, Echo 1. This is Ranger Command. Go ahead. Over.
Just
Copy,
saying hi.
Echo 1. Appreciate the update.
Roger. And then you basically have... I'm going to pick up this shovel. You got your hot slot down here. The way that you set stuff on the hot bar is like so. Huh. Wonder what I can use that for. Left click will generally activate things. Dr. Scott, Stone. Dan Citrine, no. Mad Dog Fargo, no. They're the default characters for the original. Dr. Mike Scott was a guy you could get. Dan Citrine was a guy you could get. Mad Dog Fargo. I don't know what that is. Jackie. Oh my god. Jackie became a command cadet? Go Jackie. Good job, Jackie. Jackie was in high pool. These are all characters. Oh my god, Felicia's dead. These are all characters from the original Wasteland. Oh no, Christina. Red Hawk. Oh my god. Some of these were like the best. Metal Maniac. Oh my god. Alright, let's just get the fuck out of here. And you just right click where you want to go, and it goes. Hey buddy. Desert Ranger in scarred but spotless combat armor stands at attention before the doors of the Ranger's Citadel. He gives you a friendly salute. You notice he's wearing a humongous double-barreled pistol on his hip. Welcome to the Ranger Citadel, recruits, but your general ordered me not to let you in before you finish the investigation. And I don't have either kiss-ass or hard-ass, so I'm just going to say goodbye. Alright, and you can see that there is a dirt pile right here. So let's use our shovel on it. So 2 rounds. Nice. Hey, let's see what everybody got for weapons. We got an HR 1871, uses 30-06. Bones got a knife. Sarge got a revolver. Really? You gave him a revolver? Couldn't have given him like a shotgun or something. Okay, this is a serious graphical anomaly here that they're going to have to deal with. Now let's see, a line of white poles forms a semicircular perimeter around the entrance. What could it be for? Let's follow him. Hey buddy. What's up? So sick of graffiti duty. How long is this shit gonna continue? Apparently he's cleaning graffiti. Go back up here again. Nope, nothing. No reason for them to all use it, because most of them suck at it. God, Angel of Death. A tough-looking redhead with decades of sun and wind and hard living etched into her angular face stands sobbing in the shadows. You saw her at Ace's retirement party. The sleeves of her uniform have been torn off, revealing multiple tattoos on her sinewy arms, all skulls. The tears running down her cheeks are splashing on the rusty old wrench she holds in her scarred hands. Among the skull and flame tattoos that cover Angela's arms, there is a single heart, and within that heart a single name. Ace. Angela Death is a character from the first one that you could hire, and she was awesome. Sorry about the waterworks. I'm still pretty broken up over Ace. I'm Angie. You kids must be the new recruits old Vargas trained up. Lord, you're all just babies. Me? Babies? Sorry, but you are. As cute as little kittens. Y'all remind me of Snake, Razor, Thrasher, and me when we were back just starting out, thinking we were going to save the world for the future. Thinking none of us would ever die. Christ, sorry. Listen to me. Youth is good. Optimism is good. If we all started well worn out and jaded like me, nobody'd ever try to change the world. So you kids go ahead and go. Maybe don't work. Maybe about Snake. Good old Snake Vargas. Yeah, he was one wild-ass son of a bitch back in the day, but I think the weight of his responsibilities has kind of squashed that out of him. He hasn't been in a decent bar fight in shit, a decade maybe. And Hellraiser. He's another one gone. Went out for a patrol a few weeks back and never came home. Don't know if he's dead or AWOL or gone off to join the Red Scorpions. All I know is he hasn't called in and we haven't heard from anybody who's seen him. I miss old Hellraiser like Blazes. Didn't talk much. Doesn't make friends very easily. Wasn't big on the social graces, but he was as loyal as they come. And when the shit started flying, he was the guy you wanted at your back. He didn't win the game by accident. Sharp as a razor, scary as hell. Good old Thrasher. You better call him Gilbert now. Funny, back in the day, he seemed like this big old growly bear, strong as an ox, and just about as articulate. But then he got all torn up during our fight with the robots from the base Cochise, and he couldn't go out on patrol no more. Any other commander would have handed him his walking papers, but Vargas doesn't dump old friends, so he's just started working in the museum. And wouldn't you know it, turns out the old bear had a knack for cartography. He's been gradually mapping our little corner of the wasteland ever since he took a thug hit. And last but not least, tell me about Ace. They all hurt, but this one, man. Ace wasn't even a ranger, not at first. He was just a mechanic we met up in Quartz. He pissed somebody off out there and they locked him up. We sorted that out and he started running with us and never stopped. Vargas eventually gave him a uniform and a hat, but I don't think he ever formally signed on. He was just always there, and now he's... God damn it, Ace, I knew this one was trouble. I knew it. Okay. So we've just been introduced to basically all of the characters that you start with default. You can obviously remake new characters just like this one, but in the original one, you started off with 4 characters. They were Snake Vargas, who is the head of the party. They were then Hellraiser, Thrasher, and Angela Death. Ace was one of the first NPCs that you could find and get to join you. I'm sorry that my nose is all stuffy. I just realized how much that must sound. Hold on. It's that time of year. And Ace everybody usually hires Ace because he's got decent stats, and then go from there. It's good times. They're making all this shout out to the old ones, but it gives you a perspective of the time frame. Tell me about the Scorpions. You weren't briefed on those fucks during your training? Well, let me fill you in. You know when we left prison and moved here to the Citadel? Well, the Scorpions were the jerks who moved into the prison when we moved out. Because you started off in I want to say it was Alcatraz, but I don't remember. A prison in Nevada or New Mexico, and that was your base. The Citadel is an area that you cleared out. Just a bunch of raiders back then, but they've been getting more organized. Call themselves a militia now, and they try to act like they're the Desert Rangers of eastern Arizona. Well, that's a load of horse shit. A protection racket ain't the same as protecting people. They shake down all their towns for money, and if the locals don't kick in, they smash them up. The Rangers aren't like that. We get on by donations and good old-fashioned scavenging. I want to ask you about the Citadel. You don't know about the Citadel? You're the one that fucking cleared it. Nicest home I've ever had. Still some weird stuff from the previous owners lying around, but we've made it our own. Love it. Tell me about Cochise. I like that they're giving you the backstory of the main game. An old military facility from before the war, the biggest fight the Rangers ever had. There was some crazy computer in there that kept spitting out robots and sending them off to kill people. We had one hell of a fight putting it down, earned our stripes that day. Literally, that's when I became Captain Death. Let me see if you can answer me about High Pool. Nope. We're there. Where is Quartz? Not sure I can recall. Haven't been out that way in the ages. Don't know if it's even still on the map. Ask Thrasher. He'd know. Knew Ace's mission was trouble? Yeah, he was working on the same thing Vargas had you working on. Trying to track down radio signals from beyond the edges of the map. All seemed a bit boring and scientific to me, but then Ace started saying that somebody was following him. I asked him to let me come with him when I met him at the Rail Nomads to give him the repeater units, but he told me to get back to base. He said that he was just jumping into the shadows because the radio broadcasts had spooked him. Huh. I should have gone with him. Why didn't I go with him? Because you're a rag. What about Eastern Arizona? We're going to go right through this list here. Basically everything between the prison and the radiation clouds to the east. There's a few small towns and some farms out there when the Scorpions claim as their territory. Rangers used to patrol that area before we moved here, and we knew it pretty well. But a lot can change in 15 years. Who knows? Maybe it's all as clean and nice and crime-free as the Scorpions say it is, but I got my doubts. So a computer was making those robots. Yeah, the base Cochise AI. Don't know what was wrong with it. Broken, I guess. I thought it was everybody's. It thought it was everybody's enemy. It wanted to kill the whole planet. I can't believe the Rail Nomads are still there. Tell me about them. Could be a nice little place if the Atchinsons and Topekans would kiss and make up. I can't even remember what it's all about. They've been, but between them, they've got the old railroad tech that, if they work together, give this area a real railroad transportation system. Instead, it seems like all they want to do is blow each other's heads off. And that's what they were doing in the first one, too, blowing each other's heads off. Can you tell me about the repeaters? I really don't know the details. It's all a bunch of mumbo-jumbo about transmitters in north-south axis and signals bouncing off planes. Add Woodson and ask Woodson about it. You know Woodson. He's a radio technician. He's the guy that makes sure you can hear Vargas when you're out on patrol. Keeps all the machines running in the signal clear. He'll also talk your ear off about circuits and frequencies. I don't know what else if you'll let him. But be nice to him. He's your lifeline to the base. What can you tell me about the broadcast? Ace played some of them before he died. Hard to make out a lot of it, but what I heard made the hair stand on end. Some guy talking about turning men into machines, or machines into men, or some shit. But the crazy thing was, then he starts talking about us, the Rangers, saying we're the cause of all the trouble in the world, and we need to be wiped out so his glorious future can be reborn. I mean, who is this guy? Where is he? What the fuck does he have against us? I can make a guess. I'm going to wager my money in right now that he is the particular robot that you had to go into the brain of in Wasteland 1 in base Cochise. He wasn't that. He was basically the robot body for the AI. I'm telling you, the AI's back. Spoiler alert. Tell me about the clouds, the edges of the map, kiddies. Big hot areas we can't go into without getting cooked to a crisp. The clouds move around some with the wind and weather, but there are permanent hotspots on every side of us, north, south, east, and west. Until we started hearing these weird broadcasts, I kind of thought those clouds went on forever and that Arizona was the last place on Earth, but there's a lot more people out there. Maybe the whole rest of the world's just fine and we're the only ones in hell. Wouldn't that be a joke? I know you have his tattoo on your arm. Oh, you noticed that, huh? Well, Ace always said I wore my heart on my sleeve. Yeah, me and Ace. We're more than good buddies. That's why I want to come with you. Join us. Say, listen. Vargas asked you to look into Ace's death because he thought I was too upset to be professional about it. He didn't want me going off half-cocked and shooting up all Arizona looking for his killer, but I gotta find this guy. Ace and me, well, we'd been fighting side by side for nigh on 20 years. I'm not letting him die unavenged. So, well, I know it's going against orders, but if you let me tag along and be in at the kill, well, I'll help you find your feet out there. Maybe give you a few pointers along the way. I may be old and slow, but I know a ways like the back of my hand. What do you say? Hell yes. No need to tell Vargas that I joined you. If anybody asks, I'm just helping you get oriented. Got it? Alright, let's take a look at her. Damn! 6 assault rifles. 4 alarm disarm. 5 brute force. 4 field stripping. 3 kiss ass. 4 outdoorsman. 2 weaponsmithing. And your attributes. are fucking insane. 20. 31. Must be nice, bitch. Alright. Let's go. There's a lot of hit points. What are you using for a weapon? An M1. To these letters is faded and yellowed with the age inside. Continues. To my angel is scrawled on the front in lovely handwriting. Oh. I like that she has Ace's wrench. Go. Yes.